Well, that was going to be my next question for y'all. Let's get the Cleave origin story here. Can we get that on record?
Yeah, absolutely. What was that? 2 years ago when we went to Hill in Appalachia, we went out, hit some thrift stores and stuff. Didn't really find anything. You'd have to ask Shane Cook about the name of the town. I can't remember where we were at, but we were heading back to the cabin, and we looked up, and there was a raccoon's head popped out of the back of a pickup truck. And I was like, oh, hell, we got to spin the block. And they were like, what? And I was like, we're getting that raccoon. And so we're parked behind this truck for a good probably 5 minutes, and we're all talking about how we're going to figure out how we're going to get it, because I was about to just snatch it out the back of the truck.
We elected Shane Cook because he's the nicest person on earth, and we knew that Shane could talk him. You know, he can sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman in a wedding dress. So, you know.
Oh, 100%.
Lord.
So Shane gets out, and he goes to look at this raccoon. Well, this lady pops out of the store, and she looks, and she goes, can I help you? And he said, ma'am, is this your raccoon? She said, yeah, what about it? And she said, well, the boy in the front seat right there wants to see about acquiring that. And he waved me over, and I got out, and I walked over, and she said, what do you want with that raccoon? And I said, you don't need to ask questions that you don't need to know the answers to. I said, well, what do you want for this raccoon? And she said, well, what do you want to pay for it? And I said, well, it's your raccoon. I said, you tell me. Well, our lovely Christina Trosper out of the back seat screamed what?
She said, I'll give you $1,000 and I'll show you my boobs.
And I looked and I said, we're not doing any of that. I said, but you tell me how much you want for this raccoon.
She said, I killed it with my bare hands, so
she
the
did.
money's going to come up. So.
And so she looked and she said, $20. I've never peeled $20 out of my wallet quicker in my whole life. Jason was reaching for his wallet, and I already had it out.
Yeah.
And I handed it to her, and she goes, well, I guess he's yours. So I'll go and snatch him up. And, I mean, everybody knows what he looks like now. But when I got him, some people probably seen his pimp hat. He had a pimp hat on.
Yeah.
And I'm just walking off with him. She goes, you're forgetting his necklace and his party shades. And I said, huh? She said, they're in the bed of the truck. And I looked, and that's where the glasses and the beads and all that came from. And so I was like, okay. And so we're walking off, and she goes, by the way, his name's Cleave. And I looked, and I said, Cleave. She goes, it's short for cleavage. And I said, perfect. We got to go. So me and Jason took a picture of him, or with him there, and then we took him back to the hotel, and the cabin, and that's when the debauchery started. There's pictures out there with that raccoon that will never see the light of day because we might go to jail.
There's so many pictures.